war, famine, pestilence, death. And who are you? Ragebait. Alright, we can work with this. On December 1st of 2025, Oxford University released their word of the year based on their language experts, and that word was Ragebait. In Bo Burnham's 2021 comedy special, Inside, he features a song named That Funny Feeling, where he talks about various enlightening topics such as female Colonel Sanders, Logan Paul, and reading the TOS of a certain website. Earlier in that same special, he said this:
Is it necessary that every single person on this planet expresses every single opinion that they have on every single thing that occurs all at the same time? Is that necessary? Or to ask it a slightly different way, can anyone shut the fuck up?
This song and quote put together make a incredibly haunting idea. The question has been asked, can anyone stop talking? And the answer has been given. No. No one can shut up. No one can look away. No one wants to. You clicked on the video, you fell for it, you wanted it. So what happens now?
Okay.
In the early 2000s, social media blew up. The launch of platforms like Friendster, MySpace, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube heralded an age of self-expression. Anyone could connect anytime, anywhere. The free marketplace of ideas was decentralized, and everyone was free to express their opinions. But this freedom was slavery. There is a cult of ignorance in the United States, and there always has been. The strain of anti-intellectualism has been a constant thread winding its way through our political and cultural life. Nurtured by the false notion that democracy means my ignorance is just as good as your knowledge. This quote is one of the most topical and relevant statements of the modern age. People have been sold a lie that their opinion matters despite their knowledge, and the funny part is that that quote is from the 1980s. Asimov was a prophet. And the problem with this quote is it's exactly what massive media corporations want. They want you to constantly feel like your opinion is valuable, constantly sharing it on the internet to boost engagement, because when everyone's opinion matters,
no one will be.
With the rise of social media came the rise of Ragebait. Early adopters of this method like Logan and Jake Paul would build empires out of it, carving the trail for others like Andrew Tate to get even bigger because of it. Video essay channels will make 50 videos talking about how bad Andrew Tate is and play right into his hand. You mentioning him is how he wins. Even watching them both get their egos beaten to death in a boxing match against people that they chose, they still win because they're walking out of the arena with a check that amounts to more than your net worth. But these content creators don't care. They just want to make a video about a topical guy to get topical views. Now, I'm not saying that no topic is ever worth discussing. There are serious issues that need to be talked about by professionals and common people in productive ways. But if you're gonna look at me in the eyes and tell me that you were genuinely concerned about the Sydney Sweeney American Eagle controversy, come on, man. American Eagle planted the bait and you all took it. They tried to be like, oh no, the ad was just about Sydney Sweeney's jeans and nothing else. Ignore the fact that the blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman is talking about jeans. But if you want to, I guess you can go on Twitter and complain about it. Please don't boost our engagement. Please, oh please don't do that. And the reason we know about this trick is because this ad is based off a 1980s ad campaign with Calvin Klein and Brooke Shields, who was only 15 years old at the time, and the dialogue is almost copy and paste.
Genes are fundamental in determining the characteristics of an individual and passing on these characteristics to succeeding generations.
These ads had her saying things like,
You want to know what comes between me and my Calvins? Nothing.
She has since stated that she was too young to know what that meant. She was only 15. In other articles at the time, they described her as this. She's only 12 years old, but she's destined to become the sex symbol of 1984. 12. So if American Eagle saw what Calvin Klein did and saw them get away with it, imagine what they could do with Sydney Sweeney, one of the most divisive actresses in the 2020s. And guess what? They got away with it. Kind of, but not really. Every conservative and right-wing grifter took back every terrible thing they said about her just because she started spewing Nazi talking points. Yes, American Eagle purposely put subtle eugenics themes in the ad just to play nice with the Nazis of Twitter, just for that sweet, sweet dopamine hit of the stock going up 25% temporarily, and then suffering the cost of sales going down 9%, which didn't go back up until Christmas barely saved it. Another one earlier in 2025, which honestly was 50-50 on whether it was actual rage bait or just company incompetence, was that of the Cracker Barrel logo change. That was honestly the funniest week of the year, and MAGA snowflakes and right-wingers saying that Cracker Barrel went woke just made it even better. Just look at this tweet. These people cannot be serious individuals. The fact that these people would put so much of their self-worth and energy into a brand that is purely there to suck money out of them is why conservative culture feels so hollow. These people are trying to bait you. They want your attention by any means necessary. Hey, editor Andrew here. As I was editing this video, a lot more worthless discussion has happened on the internet. It's almost like that's the point. It's almost like everything is supposed to be happening all the time, everywhere. I'm not insane. You're insane. Stop looking at me like that. Anyway, the Super Bowl happened a couple days ago, and the American patriot, of course watched it. The halftime show was Bad Bunny, brought to you by Apple. I couldn't understand a word of what was being said, but hey, when can you? It was just a vibe. But apparently, I'm evil because the halftime show was woke. God forbid a white boy catch a vibe. Fake American citizen. Where's Bad Bunny from? Puerto Rico. Would you look at that, dork? In response to how terrible this halftime show was, Turning Point USA hosted their own. And to give you a little comparison, let's just play two clips back to back.
I just wanna catch my fish, drive my truck, drink my beer.
That's the best you got? Of course, Trump was offended and he complained and cried on Truth Social about it, because how dare we have women dancing at a Super Bowl halftime show? It should have been 12-year-old girls that came from the island. A bunch of conservative grifters and Israeli plants claimed that this halftime show wasn't American or patriotic. Bad Bunny literally said, "God bless America." Amen, brother. I don't think I can play clips of it, but it was a great time. There was all the flags coming through, and of course, America, the US, is at the helm of it because in a perfect world, we are the leading power in America to make everyone else better. Canada, Mexico, Brazil, Chile, any of them, they're our friends, they're our allies. Hot take, but if we're the best country in the world, we should be helping other countries be better as well. But apparently that's woke. Anyway, I'm gonna go watch women twerking because I'm not gay. What's not to love about this halftime show? We got little bush people that look like the Ents when they're marching towards Isengard. And the idea of this being woke is absolutely ridiculous to me because Apple, the people who sponsored it, their CEO, Tim Cook, sucked Trump off for 5 hours last year and even gave him a trophy. Excuse me? Hey, Cook, you're not safe. And the idea that nobody wanted to watch this is also really funny to me. Do you know how big Bad Bunny is? This Super Bowl halftime show got over 135 million views. That's bigger than Kendrick. Do you know how big you have to be bigger than Kendrick? Especially at the time when he did the Super Bowl? It's insane. And the important thing about the Super Bowl isn't that Bad Bunny was there. It's that the Patriots lost. Israel down, baby. Woke is back. You know those mobile ads that would play on Candy Crush whenever you want more gold? And they would be perfect playthroughs of the game being advertised. Do you know why they started making the gameplay of those trailers terrible? It's because they know while you're watching it, you are going to look at it and think, oh, that's terrible. Clearly the square goes in the square hole. And they're staking everything on the fact that you get baited into playing the game to prove something to yourself, that you're better than the bot playing the game. They want your wasted time. Movie companies like Disney and Warner Brothers love doing the same thing as well in different ways. When Disney casts Rachel Zegler as Snow White, that's bait. When they cast a black woman in any Star Wars project, that's also bait. By doing this, they're immediately polarizing the discussion. One side full of racists yelling about how this is just a DEI hire, and the other side glazes the mega corporation for finally doing real activism for simply casting a woman of color. When Disney doesn't care about a project's integrity, they will simply blame the audience who is already too busy arguing amongst themselves. It's not representation, it's pandering, and they know it and they don't care. And Disney will then then go out and say that they support the actress or actor that they cast in whatever they say, when in secret, they actually told that actor or actress to say the thing that got them into the controversy in the first place. They are feeding these people to the wolves. Unless you show your support for Palestine, and then they'll do the eating themselves. The Great Jeans ad was probably the biggest Ragebait campaign of 2025, but there's a company that's been actively participating in this. Jubilee is no stranger to the idea of Ragebait. They have been consolidating the environment to breed it for over a year now. This originated with a show called Middle Ground, where they would grab an assortment of people based on a polarizing subject and specifically bring in the most stereotypical archetypes possible. This would never create a real discussion. It would just make for good entertainment, which is all they really care about at the end of the day. It doesn't matter if Jason Lee says that they want to be the Disney of YouTube, even though that's kind of true in the way that he doesn't want it to be. They're only doing this because polarizing the audience and making them as mad as possible is what makes them money. Middle Ground was a very successful show for them, with a fair amount of clips spread around social media. But then they found their golden goose, Surrounded, which starred Charlie Kirk with almost 39 million views. This video spread like wildfire, multiple clips being reposted everywhere and people eating it up like McDonald's. Like, genuine question, why do you care? Because when I look at a clip like this...
The cells, it's not about... No, I'm speaking. 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 Thank you. The person... No, I'm talking about the cells. I don't care. No, listen.
I'm thinking of the two crackheads I saw fighting in Walmart. Neither side of the argument are ever going to make real progress because there's an imposed time limit that restricts what they can actually say. And the 25 people that they actually do get are going to be the most inexperienced people on the planet to debate with one guy because that's all Charlie Kirk does. Or did, sorry. And of course, this Surrounded series went to become their biggest hit, with one coming out every 2 weeks or so, and at least one new banger clip coming every month. My favorite being when this guy admitted to being a Nazi on camera, and after rightfully losing his job, the only logical thing to do was then make a GoFundMe for him. Are you kidding me? The one Surrounded episode that I actually found interesting was one with Andrew Callahan versus 20 conspiracy theorists. Of course, the concept of this isn't really the interesting thing. Conspiracy theorists have been on YouTube since the dawn of time. I've wasted so many hours of my life watching flat earth takedown videos in my youth. The interesting thing about this is how Andrew operated during that video, because he was actually treating these people like real human beings and wanted to have a meaningful conversation. How dare he? And in another interview, Andrew actually said that Jubilee got mad at him for not making good content for them. Jubilee has slowed down the production of their Middle Ground series in favor of Surrounded because that's just how polarizing it is. Instead of putting an equal amount of both perspectives in a room and getting pretty good views, you can create a 1v20 scenario where the people who support the one guy get this righteous feeling of owning all of these morally corrupt people, and you get great views. And you get clips that spread across the entire internet. On top of this, the people who support the 20 people are dumb enough to hate watch the entire video. This is a waste of time for everyone, especially for the people looking to get some emotional substance from the video that makes them feel righteous for not being the other guy. That's the reason these clips exist. Andrew Callahan is a journalist from the Channel 5 YouTube channel, and he was invited to talk to conspiracy theorists. Callahan's whole MO on his channel is to go on the streets and connect with people and pull genuine perspectives from people that would otherwise be completely flanderized in the news. And the reason his method of discussion works on his channel is exactly why Jubilee wasn't happy when they made their video. Callahan isn't there to disagree with everyone and change everyone's perspectives and prove all of them right and feel good about it. He is there to get a perspective. Just listen to how he intros the video.
First thing I want to say to you guys is I'm not here to make anybody look or feel stupid at all. I'm not some kind of like expert debunker. I think that every conspiracy theory has some thread of truth to it, so I'm hoping we can find some middle ground and become friends.
This is not a man who made an entire brand around debating and owning the libs. This is a guy who talks to people, gets to know them, and lets their perspective speak for itself. All right, now we're going to talk about the person that I've been vaguely talking about in the video and is also in the thumbnail, which is probably why you clicked on the video. We're going to talk about Charlie Kirk. But before we do, I'm sentencing you to Kirkified AI slop in the background because that's what you deserve. Charlie Kirk was a political influencer, dare I say, the political influencer, and his assassination was probably the event of 2025. Literally everyone on both the internet and real life crawled out of their goblin holes to give their opinion on it. I even saw a Minecraft YouTuber upload a video talking about it. Bro, we do not care. What are you doing? Let's get it out of the way. I do not care about the Charlie Kirk assassination. I don't care. I'm sorry. You can't make me care. Oh, but how can you not care? Because I'm not falling for it. I don't care about it because nothing will ever be done to stop something like that happening ever again. Nothing will happen. Sure, it was political violence, but it was also a gun death, which is something conservatives will always deny any chance they get. Let's actually check what Charlie Kirk himself said about gun deaths in America.
But I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year.
Oh, but surely you have empathy for a grieving widow. Oh, what? The woman who puts on fake tears and goes in front of 1 million people like it's a WWE event? In fact, let's see what her husband has to say about empathy.
Bill Clinton in the 1990s, it was all about empathy and sympathy. I can't stand the word empathy, actually. I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that it does a lot of damage, but it is very effective when it comes to politics.
If anything, I should be congratulating Charlie Kirk, because he is now a part of the anonymous statistic that he said was worth it and justified protecting our precious freedoms. And the worst of it is the conservative reaction to it. The WWE memorial that was just propaganda to coerce people into registering Republican, the weaponization of his death to drive hatred towards any minority group they needed an excuse to harass. It's gotten so bad that conservative commentators like the Russian asset aka Tucker Carlson had to call out the current administration for weaponizing Charlie Kirk's murder. And the problem is that Charlie Kirk wasn't killed by any trans person or the left or an immigrant. He was actually killed by Israel. But that's a topic for another day. So what does this mean? What am I saying? Well, it's simple. Don't fall for it. You know the ability that you have to know when someone's trying to sell you BS in order to sell something, or you know how something's a scam without even actually having any real evidence? These are vampires, and I think everything that I've stated in this video is the same thing. These people want to suck you of your consciousness. They want your time, they want your energy, all towards this to distract you from what's really going on. I don't care if it sounds like a conspiracy theory, it's true. The best way to keep a prisoner from escaping is to make sure he never knows he's a prisoner. This entire system of news and tweets and engagement and political pandering and ragebait is a prison. It is slavery. And the way to break free of it is to know you're in it. Side effects have risen from this constant conditioning. Those AI slop Charlie Kirkification videos I was playing, that is from the nullification, the numbness that people feel towards anything. When Charlie Kirk was shot, it was everywhere on Twitter, uncensored, free to see. People don't want to deal with that constantly. People don't want to see that. So you know what they do? They meme it. They clown on it. They don't care anymore. They've taken your rage bait and turned it into rage bait. It's a self-cannibalizing system. An old saying on the internet went like this: in a war of trolling, the first person to care loses. Mark Twain or something. I don't know. Thank you to the members.